all of these horrible things happening to our airplanes and in the air. What do you say?
Well, thank you for recognizing my folks. Daddy fought the Japanese in the Pacific. Matter of fact, those two rifles behind me, he took off of Japanese soldiers that he eliminated. And my mama flew an airplane during the war, lost her brother fighting the Nazis. But I tend to like Pete. I was a mayor, although I paid down debt, was able to give raises and paid cash for schools and crazy things like that. And I know that he did just the exact opposite. But, you know, I think he has just a different philosophy, and he's just a cheerleader for this administration. He knows that. And what's going on with these charging stations, I mean, good gosh, they're going to use our tax dollars to go after local businesses who have put their money out to put a service station on a corner somewhere, like in Knoxville. You've got Bill Weigel started Weigels, and Jim Haslam started Pilot, which is a national phenomena. I mean, you know, they've invested their money, so now they're going to use our tax dollars to compete against private enterprise, and they're showing just how inept they are. And you're correct. Elon Musk would have had this problem solved yesterday. It's a myth about electric vehicles. 3 to 4% of the vehicles on the road are electric. Car dealers can't give these things away. They keep saying it's going to help poor people. But, you know, I don't know too many poor folks or working folks right now that can afford a $60,000 vehicle. It's a myth. The batteries are a nightmare. The technology just isn't there. But the companies, these car companies, you'll see who's running them. It's some young guy with a man bun who's never turned a wrench in his whole dadgum life, which I have turned a wrench, and I do not have a man bun. And I tend to like the smell of gas and oil. And, you know, and they're just buying this whole thing because of the federal money that's flowing in through the back door, if you will. It's a joke. And the American public realizes that they don't want these things. You know, I can remember when Fieros came out, and they at the car washes, it said, do not drive your Fiero through this car wash. Well, it's the same dadgum thing with an electric vehicle. These things short out. And you want to talk about the environment. Good gosh. The rare earth minerals, the way they have to get them with the slave labor, to get in bed with the Chinese to get this stuff. And our environmentalists won't let us pull any of these rare earth minerals out of the ground here in this country, like in my buddy Pete Stauber always talks about in Minnesota. There's a mine that they've been trying to get a permit for over 30 years to get some of these so-called rare earth minerals out of the ground. So the whole thing's a disaster. It's just a complete sellout. It's obvious to me we're once again, if you dig down deep enough, we've been compromised by the communist Chinese.
So certainly seems that way. Let's switch gears, Congressman. Talk about Memorial Day, what it means to you. Your family obviously served our country so well. Any message?
Yeah, there's a 48-star flag on the wall in my office in Knoxville, in the federal building over there. It was my Uncle Roy. That's him right there on the left. And Roy was a college professor. Daddy said he would have been. My daddy was a dean at UT. And but he said Roy would have been the type that would have been a president of a university, not like these communists you see that are running some of our universities now, but the real deal. He was too old to go fight. He went, and the oldest of 7. And Mama said, well, they didn't have electricity till my mama was a senior in high school. He was the oldest of 7, died fighting the Nazis, didn't have to go. He was too old to go. They sent him home. He, believe it or not, went through basic when he was in his 30s. And fought valiantly, but rose to the rank of a sergeant and died, I think, July 11th after D-Day over in France in what they called the hedgerows. And, you know, and my mama would cry every time they'd play the national anthem. And God bless her. When mama was dying, you know, the last thing she did, she sang Jesus Loves Me to me and whispered something sweet that's just between me and her. But then she started talking to her brother Roy. And I thought, some people find that a little weird, but I thought that was really cool. And he was a hero, and there's just so many hundreds of thousands of more like it. And people want to gripe about what's going on in this world. And they say, Happy Memorial Day. Well, I just say thank you, and God bless those that kept us free, because we have something here that's unique, and we're just every step of the way, it just seems we try to throw it away. So sorry that I went to preaching.
No, not at all. We're fighting for a lot of that
yes.
here at Newsmax. Congressman Tim Burchett, thanks for coming on. God bless, sir. We appreciate it. Seriously.
Thank you,
Thanks to you.
Newsmax. Y'all are always putting the dadgum truth out, and I love
Oh,
it. Thank y'all.
thank you, and thanks to your family.